Okay, so I'm presenting, I guess. Yeah, so the topic of the presentation is essentially AI and prediction markets. And yeah, I'll just like quickly introduce myself. I'm like a full stack blockchain engineer. I've graduated from University of Manchester in economics. I've worked with data scientists in Bitcoin DAO and Nielsen IQ, which is like I think Fortune 500 like retail analytics company, and I've completed grant from Filecoin. We won bounties from Uniswap, Near, UMA, etc. Right, and this project got developer DAO fellowship with Prestar Capital, and yeah, I think there were like 15 probably grantees. Yeah, so the prediction markets are known as information markets or like idea futures. These are mechanisms that allow individuals to trade in predictions or judgments on the future outcomes of events. These markets often involve the exchange of cryptocurrencies or other assets based on the likelihood of a particular event occurring. Prediction markets can be used for a variety of purposes, including forecasting election outcomes. So, for example, forecasting the next election, something like Trump, DeSantis, and Biden, right? Or predicting stock prices, and we can even drive social engagement with prediction markets. Um, they're often seen as a way to aggregate or utilize collective knowledge and expertise to make more accurate predictions than would be possible through individual forecasting. And in particular, I believe that quantified forecasting is underused tool that can help make better decisions in uncertain and complex worlds. Um, Yeah. So data, blockchain, and prediction markets, I think, are really, really connected between one another. And prediction markets can act as an unbiased source of real-time information. So that would be something really, really similar to an on-chain, off-chain oracle, right? And we can combine prediction markets with OpenAI. We can combine it with optimistic oracles, UMA, for example, right? We can combine it with decentralized social protocols such as Vance, and with a simple oracle as Chainlink. Yeah. So there are definitely more interesting things that we can say about prediction markets, and probably the most interesting, maybe not ethical, is the speculative opportunities. And prediction markets enable participants to speculate on the outcomes of various events, as we said, right? And it can also act as performance. Like we can essentially judge a DAO or a person on their performance using prediction markets. And they can also act as financial instruments, but they're like constraints with the regulation. And essentially, this introduces an element of risk and rewards, which allows individuals to potentially profit from their accurate predictions. So prediction markets are also provide market efficiency and make markets more efficient from economic perspective, right? In making actually participants free to buy and sell shares based on their expectations of future events. And the prices essentially reflect prediction markets. Yeah, the prices of shares in the prediction market reflect the collective wisdom and beliefs of participants. And this creates opportunities for investors to identify mispriced shares and achieve financial gains. So, yeah, there are also other things that we should mention, which is market liquidity, which enables participants to enter or exit positions based on changing circumstances or new information. Yeah, which ties directly to risk mitigation. And yeah, this enables essentially risk management. Um, in like in blockchain, this could enable something like derivatives or complex swap mechanisms available in traditional market but not on chain. And this is the most interesting part: is there is a huge potential for innovation. And this ties directly to zero knowledge proofs with machine learning. And yeah, this is probably like deserves another presentation on its own, but I'll try to make it like a quick summary. And I think zero knowledge proofs can lift barriers by performing computations off chain and providing a proof that this computation was correctly executed while shielding private data. The proof can then be verified on chain for a much smaller computational cost, enabling us to implement on chain private machine learning. And yeah, I think there is like a very, very popular example of on-chain trading bot, which is like a Rocky bot, I think. Yeah, then we can also use the ZKML for anomaly and fraud detection. So for example, we can train on smart contract data to enable to be able, sorry, to automate security procedures such as pausing contracts in a more proactive, preventative way. And finally, I think with like generic cash, the ZK probably has a really bad reputation right now, and we could definitely use ZKML to improve the to seem it more ethical for users to actually yeah to to essentially to increase the to improve the image of blockchain and ZK, right? With actually complying with the regulation directly with like ZKML. Yeah. So now we actually move to what I'm building with Algo AMM. And the problem that we've outlined is that prediction markets suffer from fragmentation with liquidity dispersed across multiple platforms, and this resulting in a lack of convenient one-stop shop. So in short, we see fragmented landscape and no centralized hub. And we aim to bridge the gap by integrating prediction market platforms across multiple chains, by aggregating liquidity across across very, very similar questions, right, or pools, and yeah, just bridging them. And just like a quick recap, we think that AMM, which is like an innovative solution, is better than a traditional order book for prediction markets for these reasons, is that it creates actually a robust platform, which enables seamless access to a wide range of prediction opportunities in one place. It actually provides market depth and liquidity. Yeah. And we're definitely looking for beta testers. Yeah, we're definitely looking for beta testers, and we're building the application. Like we built the first version of Algo AMM on actually on Algorand, but there have been multiple difficulties with actually obtaining users, and we are moving this platform to AVM, and we are looking for like grant opportunities to essentially yeah, to provide a better experience for our users. And yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I definitely have more to say, but like I'm probably boring you all. So yeah.
Cool. Well, you're doing great on time. You got about 5 minutes for questions. So maybe I'll ask one while we wait for it. See if anyone has any text questions. If you have a question that you'd like to write, please put it into the chat. I will put it up on screen and read it out loud. But maybe you could tell me about combining similar questions and maybe like using an LLM to do that, because some questions can be very, very similar in the prediction that they're making, but the wording could be different, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There actually, I've noticed there are multiple difficulties with this, and that's primarily because the multiple. Oh my god, like I use the same words. I'm like, oh my god, I'm using the same words. Why? Sorry. Um, Yeah, so there are like multiple difficulties. One of them is actually there are multiple resolution mechanisms. So, for example, one protocol might use like a custom proprietary solution to be like, well, this event resolved as a yes, and another protocol might see the same thing but resolve it as a no, and that's because they have proprietary oracles. And I'm trying to make it more open source and more fair to the essentially to the end user by making it more transparent. And yeah, I think like UMA in the sense is probably the solution because they have a resolution mechanism, so that the community can actually um, dispute the outcome. Yeah, yeah.
Right, cool. Andrew Penland asks if we can see the opportunities slide again. So let me pull that up. algoamm.com, and the Twitter username is algoamm. And the Calendly link, that's a very hard word to say, Calendly, is /PFEDPROG. And I will also type that in the chat right now. Okay, so we've got about a minute left, so I think that's probably not enough time for questions, but I want to thank you for presenting. It's really cool. I hope you get your beta test. I hope you get a grant, because I'd love to see prediction markets consolidate a little bit and be a little bit more easy to use, because yeah, as you kind of intimated in your presentation, the potential is huge, but there is quite a bit of fragmentation, and you never know when, for example, PredictIt will take all of their predictions offline, and then I believe recently, maybe a couple of weeks ago, suddenly they're back. But in the time that happened, like all these other ones sprung up, and yeah, it would be great to see a little bit more consolidation. So I hope you get there. Well, thank you very much, Pavel.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I just had to say this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was great to have you. Okay, so I'll take you down. And if you can stick around for the open Q&A session at the end, that would be great. So I'm going to switch to the break. Thank you very much.
Thank you.